Therefore I urge you, brothers and sisters,
in view of God's mercy,
to offer your bodies a living sacrifice,
holy and pleasing to God.
This is your true and proper worship.
Do not conform to the pattern of this world,
but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will.
For by the grace given me, I say to every one of you, don't think of yourself more highly than you ought.
More highly than you ought.
But rather, think of yourself with sober judgment.
With sober judgment.
In accordance to the faith that God has distributed each of you.
For just as each of us has one body with many members,
and these members do not all have the same function,
so in Christ we, though many,
form one body.
And each member belongs to all of the others.
We have different gifts according to the grace given each of us.
If your gift is prophesying, then prophesy in accordance with your faith.
In accordance to your faith.
If it is serving, then serve.
And serve.
Serve.
If it is teaching, then teach.
And teach.
If it is to encourage, then give encouragement.
Give encouragement.
If it is giving, then give generously.
Generously.
Give generously.
If it is to lead, do it diligently.
If it is to show mercy, do it cheerfully.
Do it cheerfully.
Living sacrifice. What does that mean? How can we offer that of ourselves? Especially if someone has robbed us of our life, if we've been in an abusive situation and everything that we have that involves living is stripped away. What do we have left to give? What can we sacrifice when we feel like everything that we have has been taken? How can we not be conformed in this world when we're in this world and that's all we have is this world and all we see is the world? What does that mean to be in the world but not be of the world? How can we differentiate? What if something happens in our lives that is traumatic or not our fault or confusing, and suddenly we're labeled and put in a box that is very worldly? What do we do with that? How do we not conform? Do we rise up against it and make something beautiful out of it? How do we know how to do that? How do we renew our minds when sometimes all we see is death and dying and people being abused and hurt and mistreated? The only thing I can think is that we see that that is bad and go the opposite direction. But what about the people who are the abusers and who are causing pain and conflict? What do we do with that? How do we encourage them? How do we transform our minds, but not so far that we can't see people in need?
The scene that I will be directing is For Colored Girls by Natazaki Shang. This story is about 7 women who all go through different trials and tribulations throughout their lives, whether it's love, rape, abuse, taking advantage of, different stories for different women. Each woman is given a character name, but they're also given a color. I know in life we sometimes feel these different colors. We may be green with envy or red with anger or blue with sadness, but these women, they have specific colors to match their stories. And so what you will see at the beginning of this scene is each woman's story, and it'll lead into them finding themselves in God. Romans 12:9 says, "Love must be sincere, hate what is evil, cling to what is good." The women that you will see in this scene cling to what is not good. They cling to the things that hurt them and take them away from God. But what you will see towards the end of the scene is that when they allow God to step into their lives and allow God to take over their bodies, they cling to what is good and hate what is evil. And now, For Colored Girls by Natazaki Shang.
It was graduation night, and I was the only virgin in the crowd. Bobby Mills, Martin, Sammy Yates, Eddie Jones, and Randy, all cousins. They picked me up in this black Buick smelling of alcohol and ladies in heat. We rambled from Camden to Mount Holly, laughing at the afternoon speeches, our tassels dangling from the rearview mirror, climbing different sort of project stairs. So we went to this party, and I got drunk and couldn't figure out whose hand was on my thigh. But it didn't matter, because these cousins, Bobby, Martin, Randy, Sammy, and Eddie, had been my sweethearts alternately since the 7th grade. So, the party got crazy, and me and Bobby left before the police came. We were in the back seat of his old Buick, and Bobby starts looking at me. He starts looking at me real strange, like I was a woman or something. Then he starts talking real soft in my ear. By the time the sun was coming up, I couldn't stop smiling.
My father said that he was Puerto Rican, and we would have been, except for we were just regular old colored people. So off I made it to this 36-hour dance marathon con salsa, con Ricardo Sugar Ray, and it was up stairs and down hallways with my colored Puerto Rican self. If dancing was proof of origin, I was Jibarita herself that night. If he could lead, I could dance, and if he couldn't, well, then I put on this air that I'd seen Rosa do, and I could not be bothered. I love dance. Me encanta la danza.
You don't know me. I am not a deliberate poet who never did without. What I want and want it to be unforgettable. I want it to be a memory, a wound in every man arrogant enough to want me. I am the wrath, the women in the windows fingering shades, old lace curtains, camouflage and despair, and stretch marks. I glittered, honestly, delighted, and allowed those especially scheming and tactful suitors to experience my body and spirit tearing so easily, blending with theirs.
Somebody almost walked off with all my stuff. What? Somebody almost walked off with all my stuff. Not just a random performer or dance on the street, but somebody almost walked off with all my stuff. Like a kleptomaniac working hard and forgetting while stealing, this is mine. This ain't your stuff. So why don't you put me back and let me hang out with my own self? Somebody almost walked off with all my stuff. It wasn't even kind enough to send a letter home saying I was late for my own conversation or 2 sizes too small for my own tacky skirts. I want my stuff back. Give me my memories and how I felt when I was there. Taking my stuff don't make it yours. It makes it stolen. Somebody almost walked off with all my stuff, and I was left standing there, just looking at myself. And who is this you left me with? Some simple chick with a bad attitude. Now, it wasn't a man that walked off with my stuff. It was a spirit. A spirit of a man who I left too much room for. And I was left standing there, just looking. Now, if it's my stuff, then you gotta give it back, because I'm the only one that can handle my stuff.
All I remember is tubes, tables, whitewashed windows, grime from age wiped over. Once, legs spread anxious, eyes crawling at me, eyes rolling up my thighs, metal horses gnawing my womb, dead. Alice starts to mumble and pray. Alice bolts out of the room. I really didn't mean to. I really didn't think I could. Just one day off. Gets off of me. All of this blood, bones shattered like soft ice cream cones. I couldn't have you looking at me pregnant. I couldn't have my friends see this dying, dangling between my legs. And I didn't say a thing. not a sigh or a fast scream, to get those eyes off of me, get them still rides out of me. This hurts. This hurts me. And nobody came, because nobody knew. Once, I was pregnant, and ashamed of myself.
A rapist doesn't have to be a stranger to be legitimate, someone you never saw. But if you danced one dance, kissed him lightly on the cheek goodbye, then pressing charges will be harder than trying to keep your legs closed while 5 fools take advantage of you. And these men friends of ours, the ones who smile nice, take us out to dinner, stay employed, lock the door behind you. Because you see, the nature of rape has changed. We now meet these men in the social circles we frequent. See them with our friends out for coffee, even invite them over for dinner. And we can get raped in our own houses by our own invitation.
I've lost touch with reality. I don't know who's doing it, and I thought I was, but I was so stupid. I was able to be hurt, and that's not real, not anymore. I should be immune if I'm still alive, and that's what I was discussing. How am I still alive? My dependency on other living beings for love. I survive on intimacy, and tomorrow, that's all I've got going. And the music was like a smack, and you knew about that, and you still refused. My dance wasn't enough, but it was all I had, and being alive and being a woman and being colored is a metaphysical dilemma I haven't conquered yet. Do you see my point? My spirit is too ancient to understand the separation of soul and gender.
Frank, you got a woman in there? Fine, Frank, fine. I want you to know that I am sick and tired of your mess. Without guidance or assistance from you, I have loved you unconditionally for 8 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days. I've been stood up 4 times, left 7 packages at your door, and sent you 30 poems. And I had to leave town just to send them off. You have been of no assistance to me on my job. You call me at 3 o'clock in the morning on the weekdays. Charming, Frank, that's real charming. I want you to know that this was an experiment. This was an experiment to see how selfish I could be. If I could possibly deface myself for the love of another, if I could stand not being wanted when I wanted to be wanted the most. And I couldn't. So with no further assistance or guidance from you, Frank, I'm ending this affair. There's a note in this plant I've been watering since the day I first met you. You may water it yourself.
One thing I don't need is any more apologies. Sorry, greet me at my front door. You can keep yours. Did nobody stop washing cars with my tears because of sorry? I'm gonna have to get rid of some of them. I can't even get to the clothes in my closet for all the sorries. I'm gonna tack a sign above my door that says, if you called to say you're sorry, call somebody else. Can't use them anymore. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, and how could I know that? Take a walk down a dark and musty street in Brooklyn. You were always so inconsistent, doing something and then saying you're sorry. Beating my heart to death, talking about you sorry. Can't handle it anymore. I loved you on purpose. I was open on purpose. You know, Why can't you just admit that you're mean, down low, low down, trifler, no count, straight out? Quit feeling sorry for yourself. When I get home, I want you gone. You can take your HIV with you. I don't know what's worse, the betrayal or the virus.
HIV is not a death sentence. I have patients that have been living with it for over 20 years, and they're okay. You're gonna be fine.
How could I be so stupid?
Honey, you weren't stupid. It could have been any of us. You were in love. We deal with emotion too much these days.
Well, are you at least having a good time?
Yeah.
How about you?
Surprisingly, I am. I usually need a man around to have some fun.
Girl, let them stay where they are, because my love is too beautiful to have thrown back in my face.
I like that.
Give it a try.
What?
Well, in class, we have this thing where we say, my love is two, and then you fill in the blank.
My love is too sanctified to have thrown back in my face.
My love is too magic to have thrown back in my face.
My love is too Saturday night to have thrown back on my face.
My love is too complicated to have thrown back in my face.
My love is too dance to have thrown back in my face.
And you remember that the next time some man tried to walk off with all your stuff.
I know that's right, or says I'm sorry a million times.
We all got I'm sorry stories.
Girl, get this. Last week, my ex came in talking about, baby, I don't know how she got your number. I'm sorry.
No, this one is it. Oh, baby, you know I was high. I'm sorry.
I'm only human. And our inadequacy is what makes us human. And if we was perfect, we wouldn't have nothing to strive for. So you might as well go on and forgive me, because I'm sorry.
No, this is it. Baby, I do you like I do you, because I know you can take it. I'm sorry.
Now, I know that you know I love you, but I never gonna love you like you want me to love you. I'm sorry.
Shut up, Trick. I told you I was sorry. It's okay. I asked myself, how could I let this happen? And I realized I was missing something important, something promised. A laying on of hands on my forehead, strong, cool, making me whole, sense, pure. All of God coming into me, laying me open to myself. I was missing something.
Something promised.
Something free.
A laying on of hands.
The hands laying on.
Not a man laying on.
Not my mama holding me tight, saying I'm always gonna be your girl.
Not a laying on of bosom and womb, but a laying on of hands.
You know, I walked the halls of my apartment one night, screaming, crying. Ghost of another woman who was missing what I was missing. Wanted to jump out of my bones and let myself go off into the wind. It was too hard. Till the only tree I could see picked me up in her branches and swayed me in the breeze. Made me don dew that chill at daybreak. The sun wrapped me in her warmth, and the sky laid over me like a million men. I was cold. I was burning up. A child endlessly weaving garments for the moon with my tears. I found God in myself. I loved her. I loved her fiercely.
I found God in myself, and I loved her. I loved her fiercely.
I found God in myself, and I loved her, and I loved her fiercely.
I found God in myself, and I loved her. I loved her fiercely.
I found God in myself, and I loved her I loved her fiercely.
I directed scenes from The Shadow Box by Michael Christopher, and this is a play that tells the story of 3 terminally ill cancer patients who are living in separate cottages on a hospital grounds. My cutting only explores 2 of the 3 families, and that would be Felicity, an elderly blind woman, and her caretaker daughter Agnes, and Joe and Maggie, a couple who is just really unprepared for the impact of Joe's death and the effect that it will have on their son, Steve. A lot of times we conform so completely to this world, and we get so attached that we don't want to leave. We're scared of death. And I think that if we truly transform ourselves, like the verse talks about, we can see death as something different, not really as a tragic ending, but more as a beginning of a new life, the life that we were originally created for in the kingdom of heaven. And this is The Shadow Box by Michael Christopher.
Joe, you seem to be in very good spirits.
Oh, yeah, never better. I feel great.
Good.
My family's coming today.
Yes, we know.
It's been a long time, almost 6 months. They would have come sooner, but we couldn't afford it. And then I always figured I'd be going home. I always figured I'd get myself back into shape and,
Have you seen the cottages?
Oh, yeah, it's real nice. It's beautiful. They're gonna love it.
Good.
Here. Over here.
Steven!
Then everything is settled, right?
Oh, yeah, Maggie knows the whole setup I wrote to her.
And your son?
Steven? Yeah, I told Maggie to tell him. I figured he should know before he got here.
Good.
It's not an easy thing. You get scared at first plenty, and then you just get pissed off. Oh, is that okay to say?
Yes, Joe, that's all right. It's all right for you to be angry or depressed or even happy if that's how you feel. We want to hear as much as you want to tell us.
Come on, Mom.
There's still a few things.
You're going to give me a heart attack.
I could talk to you about them, but maybe later.
Even if it's just to listen. That's what we're here for, Joe.
Is that it?
That's it. Thank you, Joe.
Dad?
Steven!
Dad! Number 1. This is it! Mom, what the heck are you waiting for? Come on!
Steven, there you are.
You look terrific. I was worried. I missed you. Hey, how long can we stay, huh?
I don't know, a couple weeks maybe?
Well, let me show you my new guitar. I got it used, don't worry. It's got all these cool compartments and everything.
That's it! End of the line, everybody off! Joe? Steve? Come get your luggage. If you make me wait out here one more minute, I'm gonna be on the next plane back.
Come on in if you're coming, Mom.
I'm not coming in, you're coming out, and don't give me.
Any smart back talker, I'll split your lip.
Well, I brought you some things. I wasn't for sure all what you want. I thought it'd be better to be, sure and safe.
Here, we'll take them inside.
No, Steven will get them. I've been carrying around those bags all day.
Come here, let me look at you, huh? Come on inside, it's real nice.
No, I don't want to go inside.
Why not?
I just don't.
see it.
But Maggie, I don't...
Well, how do I look? It's a new dress.
You look real pretty.
I bought it just for the plane. I don't know, I should have worn pants. It just gets so uncomfortable all pushed together like that. My ears hurt so bad, though. Steven loved it. I couldn't get him to sit down. He was up all over the plane taking pictures.
You must be tired, huh? Come on in, you can rest.
One minute you're there, the next minute you're here. I still feel like I'm there. What else? 3,000 miles it must have been.
Maggie...
But you look good. You're fine now, huh?
Maggie, listen.
No. You don't have to tell me, I can see it. You're fine. It's just I got so scared making things up in my head. But I can see it, you're okay. I knew you would be when I got here.
Yes, Maggie. Everything's all right.
I knew it. I knew it.
Felicity? If you'd rather not talk now, we can wait until tomorrow. Shall we do that? Shall we wait until tomorrow? Felicity?
How do I look today?
You look fine.
You're a liar. I look like I feel, and I smell too.
Are you tired, Felicity?
No.
Do you want to talk today?
No.
All right then. Do you want to go back to the cottage?
No.
You know, you could help us if you talk to us.
Oh, help you. Help you. Don't make me laugh, I'll split a stitch. Which one of us is kicking the bucket, huh? Me or you?
Well,
what? Come on, spit it out, don't be shy. Oh, you're not stupid on top of everything else, are you? Now listen, I'm the corpse. I have one lung, a plastic bag for a stomach, and 2 springs and a battery where my heart is supposed to be. It's not 5 yet, is it? Is it 5 yet?
5?
Stupid. My daughter, Claire.
Yes.
She writes to me regularly. Almost a letter every day. I have them at the cottage.
That's very nice.
Yes, I have every one she ever wrote me, every letter. She's a good girl, my Claire.
Where is she now?
She's not here yet, but she'll be here soon. Agnes! Agnes is with me now. Agnes is my oldest.
Yes, we
Agnes! Claire has 2 children now, 2 beautiful twin angels. Agnes!
I'm coming, Mama.
Agnes has me. It's not her fault. She takes after her father. Not too pretty, not too bright. Agnes! She here yet?
Yes, Mama, I'm here.
Get me out of here.
Yes, Mama, off we go.
Lay me over in the clover. Lay me down, roll me over. Do it again.
Mama, people can hear you.
I'll do them good. This is number 1, and the fun has just begun. Lay me down, roll me over. Do it again.
All right, Mama, I'll make you some tea.
Oh, put me near the table. This is number 2, and his hand is on my shoe. Lay me down, roll me over. Do it again. But, oh, other side, other side. This is number 3, and his hand is on my knee.
All right, Mama,
Lay
I think
me
we've
down,
done enough
roll
singing
me
now.
over. Do it again. Closer, closer. This is number 4, and I don't remember number 4. Do you know that one?
No, Mama, I don't think I know this song.
This is number 5, and his hand is on my thigh. Lay me down, roll me over. Do it again. Do you know that one?
No, Mama, I don't.
This is number 6, and his hands are on my...
Mama! I'll make you some tea.
Oh, tea.
Mama, please, I'm very tired.
This is number 7, and we're on our way to
Mama,
heaven.
stop it!
Put him away. Put him away. Shoot him and bury him. We can't get good milk from sick cows, can you?
No, Mama, you can't.
Claire?
No, Mama, it's Agnes.
It hurts.
I know, Mama.
It hurts. Make it stop. Make it stop.
All right, I'll get you some medicine.
With some tea. Can I have it with some tea?
Yes, Mama, I think so.
All right. Agnes.
Yes, Mama, I'm here.
All right.
Here, just drink your tea, and I'll read you your letter.
I didn't tell him.
What?
I didn't tell him. Stephen, I didn't tell him.
So what, he doesn't know? What does he think? He thinks I'm coming home with you? Maggie, why wouldn't you tell him?
For goodness sake, don't make me say things I don't understand. I don't want to hear them. I shake all over when I think about them. How long? 2 weeks? 3? A month? And then what? What? What do I do?
Maggie.
Just come home. What is this place anyways? They make it so nice. Why? So you can forget? Well, I can't forget. I can't. Just come home.
I can't, Maggie. You know I can't.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Well, I can't.
You look fine. You can.
No, Maggie.
Yes, you can come home. You look fine. I can see it.
Don't do this, Maggie.
You get stronger every day.
It gets worse.
No, I can see it.
Every day it gets worse.
We can go home tomorrow. I can get a plane ticket. We can go home.
Maggie, please don't do this.
I got a new chair for the apartment. You'll like it. It's red. You always said we should have a big red chair in the apartment. We could get all dressed up. I could get my hair done. We can go out someplace. What do we need? A little time, that's all.
It's not going to change anything.
No, it's too fast. I don't know, we can maybe go searching for something, someplace we like.
Maggie, no, this is all. This is all we got.
No, something further out. Nothing big, just something small, something we like. All right, a farm, if that's what you want. I don't care. Tomorrow.
Maggie, tomorrow is nothing, okay? It's nothing. It's not going to change. Look, you don't snap your fingers and it disappears. You don't buy a ticket and it goes away. Look, it's here. Now.
No.
Look at me, Maggie.
No.
Just look at me. Do you want magic to happen? Is that what you want? Well, go on. I'm waiting. Make it happen. I'm waiting. Make it happen.
I can't.
Make it happen.
I can't. I can't.
Tell us about Claire.
Claire?
Yes.
Claire is my sister. Claire was so beautiful. She left. And then we never heard from her. Mama waited and waited. She never wrote or came back to visit, nothing. Then one morning we get a call from a man in Louisiana saying that there had been an accident, something. And Claire was dead.
But these letters from Claire.
Yes, you see, it was right after Claire died when Mama started to get sick. She just seemed to give up. I couldn't pull her out of it. Claire could have, but I couldn't. I remember she came back from the hospital. She was much stronger. She choked and laughed, made fun of me just the way she used to. Then she told me that she had written a letter while she was still in the hospital.
Claire. She said she'd been very nice to her and asked her to come and visit, bring all of her kids. Claire had been dead a long time then. I didn't know what to do. I tried to tell her, but I didn't know what to do, so.
How long have you been writing these letters?
About 2 years. They just mean so much to her. So I write the letters. It's not that hard. It doesn't even matter what they say as long as she knows Claire's coming. They just make her so happy.
And what happens when Claire doesn't show up?
Oh, well, I don't think that'll happen. I mean, even if Mama, well.
You mean she'll probably die before she even finds out?
Yes. I better go.
Agnes!
Yes, Mama, I'm here.
What time did you say it was?
4 or 5, I don't know.
Could you read me the letter then? The letter from Claire.
Maggie.
I'm here, Joe. It's all right.
Maggie,
Claire?
Yes, Mama.
I'm here, Joe.
Claire.
Yes, Mama, I'm here.
just come inside.
I think the word living sacrifice. I think of people who go and do relief work in war zones. I think of people who, when there's a natural disaster, I think of a living sacrifice as the person that runs to those people in the most desperate of need, doesn't think about themselves, doesn't think about their work, doesn't think about all the things that they have to do. They think, these people need me more, I could be of help, I'm gonna go help. I think of a living sacrifice is someone who gives their life and all of their breath to those who need it 1,000 times more.